Bonjour and welcome to WASA Distance Education. This is PLAR English and I'm Andrea. Well, welcome to anybody who might be listening and we'll see if anybody else joins us on Smart Bridget as well today. So this is the first class of Term 2B. Term 2B is the last term where classes will be held. Students can still do work in the summer, but the there aren't any more classes in the summer. Any work that's done in the summer is done independently. Alrighty, so today we are going through a course introduction. So I'll explain what this course is all about. I'll tell you how you can contact me, and I'll also explain how you can access different resources that I have available. And then we'll go through the overall writing expectations, and I will share some examples of full sentences. Of course, throughout the course, you'll be learning more about all of this. I just thought that this would be a good place to start, sort of saying, okay, overall, what should your writing look like? And then just to get you started, here are some useful examples of sentence structure. And then we'll look at the first two assignments. All right, so I'll just move this over, I guess, over here maybe. All right, so this is what your textbook should look like, and you want to make sure that you have the right books. So it should say PLAR, English unit, textbook on the front, and you can see all of the main contact information is there as well. And just because we are airing this publicly, I have not included my cell phone number in the class, but if anybody needs my cell phone number, any students need my cell phone number, just ask me for it. That's an option for if you're trying to reach me outside of my office hours. All right. And then, so you have a textbook and a workbook. So this is a reminder too that what you need to do in this course is read the information in the textbook and then complete the assignments in the workbook. So the first thing that you'll look at will probably be the textbook and then the workbook. And this is what the workbook should look like. It should say 2016 to 2017 on the front, and it should say student workbook as well. And then another document that you'll get with your course package is something called a study guide. And you actually might look at the study guide first. And we will be focusing a lot of this first bit of conversation on the study guide because this is what's in the study guide. We've got a course description, the class schedule, my contact information, protocol or rules for how you can participate in class if you're joining us here on Smart Bridget, course resources and how to access them. And there's an optional survey in there that will tell me more about your individual learning needs. So if you feel like filling it out, you can do that, fax it in. That's probably the easiest way. You could also just take a picture of it and Facebook me that picture, however you want to send it in. And then related to that survey, I'll talk about something called a learning skills rubric. Um, don't worry, these aren't shocking or anything. Just things to know about the course. All right, so just start off with here, talking about what this course is all about and how it's delivered. So what is PLAR English? Well, PLAR stands for Prior Learning Assessment and Recognition. So PLAR is a process of identifying, assessing, and recognizing what a person knows and can do for the purpose of awarding academic credit. Prior learning is everything we do in life. So if you're taking this PLAR English course, it means that you're a mature student and that you have been out of school for a while and that you want to finish high school. And this is an option for a way of finishing high school and getting your diploma. And this is one course that you would do for it. And actually this course is, we could say that it's grade 9 and 10 English put together. If you're ever wondering, well, what is actually in this course? What grades is it? Well, it's grade 9 and 10 put together. And I don't want to get into too much detail about PLAR. What I recommend is if anyone, has any questions about the PLAR process, contact me. I'd be happy to explain it to you. All you really need to know for this course is if you're taking it, it means that when you went to high school, you didn't finish grade 9 and or grade 10 English, and so you're taking this PLAR English course. So this course, we're talking about the evaluation. This course helps you prepare for the individual equivalency subject-based assessment test. Throughout the course, you will develop the skills necessary to improve your English grammar and writing ability. At the end of the course, there's a test that you have to write, and you need to pass that test in order to complete and pass the course. Some of you might be wondering, what mark do I need to get on this final test to pass? 50%. It's very possible. If you come to every class and you ask questions when you have questions, you can get through this. So at the end of each week, make sure that you send all work that you have completed. So the best thing is to just be working on your work on a regular basis and sending work in every week. And, we all have things that come up in our lives. So if something comes up, I'd be really happy to hear from you. Just let me know how you're doing. And of course, if you need any help with anything, let me know as well. So there are 27 assignments in total in this course, and you want to complete them in order, starting with the first assignment. So this is a really good point here. Assignments should be faxed as soon as you get them done. You do not have to wait until you have completed a whole lesson. I mean, you can if you want to, right? But this is just letting you know that if you want to get lots of feedback and lots of help, hand your work in as you finish it. So I definitely need to get material from you so that I can help you improve. Now, this is important too. Students must complete work assignments to be able to write the test. So if you don't complete something, let's say you're having a hard time with assignment 1 and you just haven't done enough of the questions, I will let you know, okay, you need to take another look at this, make some corrections. I might give you some help on it. We could even just chat about it on the phone. And then once you're done that, then you can move on to the next assignment. So another thing that you can do that I always appreciate is as soon as you start the course, contact me. Maybe it's over Facebook. Maybe it's an email. Maybe it's a phone call, just to say, hey, I'm a new student of yours, and and we could have a quick chat. Always happy to do that. So as I was saying, at the start of the course, you will get your course materials. You will have a student textbook, a student workbook, and of course what we're looking at now is the study guide. And this course is being covered over 9 weeks, and I will go through the schedule next. So just some overall study tips, right? As I was saying, do the assignments in order. Hand in work as you finish it. Consider using online resources, which I will explain to you. Resources can also be sent on a USB. I was actually on Facebook just before I came to class today, and I had put a post out there saying, does anybody want resources from last term? If you get ahead of class, or if you need help with something and maybe your internet's not all that great, a USB is another way of accessing resources and getting help. And of course, contact me if you have any questions. Okay, so this is the overall class schedule, and there are 2 classes each week. Each class is an hour long, and so you can see here we are in term 2B, and classes from 4 to 5 p.m., and that is Central Standard Time. So if you're in Eastern Standard Time, of course, your time classes will be from 5 to 6. So Central Standard Time, 4 to 5 p.m., Monday and Wednesday. You're always welcome to call in. You can also view the class afterwards. I put them on YouTube. They're also available on the WASA archive. I'll show you all those ways of getting what you need there today. Um, I recommend YouTube because what I do in each YouTube video is I include a link. So you'll watch the first 5 seconds of the video, and then in the top corner of the screen, you'll get a message that'll pop up. It'll say, get the class notes. And you click on it and it takes you straight to my class notes website, and then you can print off notes that go with the video. So that's a cool thing that you have access to. So this is the specific schedule. If you look in your study guide, you'll see that there's just a really general schedule sort of saying, okay, which lessons are covered during which times. And this is very specific. So you can see we're in week 1 right now and our first class today. And these are the topics that we're discussing right now. And of course, this schedule is just approximate, right? Depending on time, the assignments covered may change, so it's all subject to change, but I always do my best to follow it as it's written. And definitely all of these materials will be covered, right? So even if I have to move something forward or back a little bit, everything will still be covered. All right, so here's my contact information. And one thing in particular that I wanted to note was that on Monday and Wednesday, in your original study guide, there are different office hours there. I changed them. You know, sometimes that happens. We think about that and we go, oh, you know what, this time would be better. And I think that this will be better. You know, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Monday and Wednesday. Then Tuesdays, I'm in the office from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. So for anybody that likes to do work in the evening, a good day to get a hold of me. Thursday, I sort of switched it up, right? So I've got one evening, then Thursday, I'm there in the morning, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then Fridays, I'm there in the morning, 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. But of course, right, you've got lots of different ways to contact me. If these times don't work for you, send me a message on Facebook, send me an email, leave me a phone message, any way you want. If you need help, we can set up a online meeting or a time to chat on the phone, and I'm always happy to help. So here's the contact information, the fax number, and oh, here's the office number up here on the left here too. So there's the office number, my office hours, fax number for sending in work. There is a spot for my cell phone number here. I just didn't want it to be public, but it's in your study guide. You can always ask me for it. Here's my email and a link to my Facebook profile as well. So, rules for participating online, this on-air protocol, and we'll also talk about something called plagiarism. So, anyone can view live or recorded classes, right? And these are some things that I'm looking for anybody that's participating in class. Is I really encourage participation. And actually this last term I started doing something new. I was trying something new to try to get more people to participate, and hopefully over time maybe I'll see more participation. And I thought what I would do was, if let's say, you know, you're participating and you ask a question and you're really not sure about something and maybe you feel a little bit bad about asking, afterwards I will edit the video to take out, you know, your name and community so that people don't know that you're asking it. And I will also edit out what you're saying. So I'll do like I call it a voiceover. So I'll say something like, and a student had a really good question about whatever it was about, and then I'll explain what was being asked. So if you're worried about your privacy, if you're worried that, you know, you asked a question and you don't really want everybody to know what you were asking and that it was you that was asking the question, I have started editing out those videos. It takes a little longer for me to post a video because of that, but I'm hoping that in the long run, it will be a good thing. Okay, so follow along, right? Pay attention to the schedule and where you're at and where we're at. Um, and if you're in class, you know, you're just in class, right? You're not surfing the internet for something else. You could be working on an assignment, like when we talk about the first assignment. If you wanted to get your workout, um, you could you could do that. If you don't think that you need any help with it, you could always just work on it instead, right? You could take 20 minutes and just finish it right then and there. Um, and polite language. And if, let's say that a whole bunch of people are talking in class, or maybe I'm asking questions, encouraging participation. Let's say you needed to leave for some reason, let me know so that I'm not sort of wondering, oh, I just asked this person a question, but it seems like they left. So if you are in the middle of participating, let me know if you need to leave. And if I ask a question and you're not sure how to answer, you can, just let me know that however you'd like. Um, or if you need more time, or if you want me to ask somebody else, or you could just say, I don't know. Um, and then just to be careful with spelling and grammar. So what is plagiarism? Well, plagiarism occurs when a student borrows words or ideas from a source without giving credit to the source. If you submit another person's work as your own, or if you copy and paste from the internet without crediting the source, or if you copy your answer directly from the textbook, you are plagiarizing. If you're unsure about what is and is not plagiarism, check with your instructor. Okay, so in this course, anything that you write will be from your own knowledge or experiences, right? Any paragraph that you write or anything that you're writing is your own. So plagiarism shouldn't be an issue. But a good example would be if, say, I share an example in class and then you take that example and you write exactly the same thing for your assignment, right? Um, and and if you're thinking of something else and you're not sure if it's plagiarism, just ask me. Um, but that's an example. I mean, maybe I have a paragraph about winter, right? You could write about winter, but it couldn't be exactly the same paragraph as mine, right? It would have to be your own paragraph about winter. All right, so options for attending class. Obviously, you can be here live on Smart Bridget. You can even just be listening on the radio. Um, you can look at the recording and the notes afterwards, right? So this is just information for all those different options. And I will show you how you can access class videos and notes and stuff like that as well. So probably the easiest option, I know a lot of students are on Facebook, is just friend me on Facebook or follow me on Facebook. Either way is fine. Now, I don't want to open up Facebook because then, then everybody would see all of my friends, right? Because you have to be logged into Facebook to view a profile on it. So I don't want to go there, but I will show you that here that's my profile name, Acol Wasa, and this is what my profile page looks like. And in the notes after class, there will be this link that you can go to if anybody's trying to find me on Facebook. And this is important, right? It says here, members of the WASA community can send me messages and or friend requests. So if you're not part of the WASA community, if you're not a student, or if you're not a distance education coordinator, or if you're not a member of a community, and if you're not somebody that's concerned with WASA students and education, then I cannot have you as a friend on Facebook, right? This Facebook is just for WASA. That's important. All right, so the second option, and we'll go there right now, is YouTube. And then you can also see the WASA archives. So I definitely recommend YouTube. And over here on the right talks about the WASA archives. That is an option, but an important note here is that if you watch recordings on the WASA archive, then you will not see any links to go to my website to get class notes. I can only do that on YouTube. So what I'm going to do right now is go to YouTube, and show you what I mean. So if you're on YouTube and you search for me, you don't need to have capital letters. Just type it in just like that. I can spell it correctly. And then just press enter or click on the search button. So I'll just press enter. And you can see that I actually have 3 channels. I'll just explain quickly what they are. This is my main channel. This is where all of the notes for after class are, and we'll go there in a second. This supplementary videos, there's a few things there. There are spelling and grammar videos, and there are step-by-step instructions for writing a resume, so pretty cool. And then this is just an extra little channel that I made. I thought, okay, well, what if anybody's curious about where their notes come from? How do I make notes? How do I get ready for class? How do I use YouTube? I'm thinking that maybe some people might be interested in watching some of my YouTube videos if you're somebody that's a fan of making your own videos and stuff. And if you like, we'll go to my channel now and I'll show you what I mean about being able to get the notes. Now, please keep in mind that because of the way that we're recording here today, you won't hear any sound when I start playing this video. But of course, when you go onto YouTube on your own, you'll hear all of the sound, all right? Just letting you know. So I'll just to show you an example of what I mean by how you can start a video, right? You watch a video and then you can click to get the notes, right? So I'll just open up this video from, so that's just open up this last one that I made. We'll count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. I'll just pause it. So you can see how that message popped up, right? So you can click on it and you can go to my class notes website and you can see that there's the notes for it. Isn't that cool? So and you can also see that this is where you could get the in-class notes for today. So if you wanted to follow along with exactly the notes that I've made for today, the notes that you're seeing on the screen right now, you can get them here. And I update this, right? So by the end of the week, I'll have it updated for Monday's class, right? And if anybody is really excited about getting started on their work, well, go into here. These are the notes from term 2A, a nice little list of everything that we did in that term. I do present the same materials, but I like to think that I get a little bit better each term. So let's say you went to the first class. All right, here's the notes. Here's a link to download them. You click on it and you can see that there's a PDF here. Very cool. You can print it off, save it, whatever you'd like. And then, of course, there's a link to go to YouTube. And you can also, there's a link to go to my YouTube channel, the main one. And I just added something new, which is pretty cool. I've always had this link, Class Notes website, so you click on that and it brings you to the website that we're looking at. And then this link gets you to, because I also put the class notes as photo albums on Facebook, so it gets you to that section of my Facebook. And then these two, this is a supplementary videos channel, and this is the behind the scenes channel. So from my main page, you can see any other page that you might like to see, and they're even here. The extra channels are there on the side as well. Okay, so that's YouTube and my website. I always get excited about it, and obviously we just started term 2B, so after class I will create a new playlist, and I'll put our first video on there, and I'll create a new page for all of our notes on my website as well. Okay, so, oh, right, I was going to show you the archive. So if you went to NNEC's website, nnec.on.ca, we'll just let that load, and then you go into WASA Distance Education here. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4th tab along the top. Archived classes. And you can click on the term that you want, and you can click on the class that you want. Now, I will be doing this soon. I just want to show you what term 1B looks like, because at the end of each term, I organize the the videos, so you can see that they're labeled here lesson, just to make it easier to find. But I always wait till the end just to avoid any confusion. So I'll be doing that as well this evening after class. I'll be organizing this archive. But keep in mind, right, that in the archive, you don't get those links that bring you to the website, to the notes on my website, right? So, I mean, if you just want videos, archive's great, right? But if you want videos and notes, check out Facebook for sure. Facebook. Well, yeah, Facebook. Yeah, everything goes on Facebook. But check out YouTube. Right, you'll get linked to everything there on YouTube. Okay, so I already went to my website, but that's what the homepage looks like. It's the other option. And this is what I was talking about, the survey that's in your study guide. It's optional. So there are questions like, let me know if you have problems with language, reading, or comprehension. And then here towards the end, work, employment, time conflicts. So let's say that you're only available on certain days or certain times. You can let me know, and then that might help if I ever needed to get a hold of you to share some feedback on your work or something like that. So that's optional, right? You can fax it in, fill it out and fax it in if you'd like. So this is the learning skills rubric. So what I'd like to say about this is that in addition to improving your reading and writing skills, this course provides you with an opportunity to improve your learning skills. In other words, another important goal is to encourage continual lifelong learning. So the learning skills in this rubric are examples of how any student can strive to be an effective learner. As you probably imagine, being an effective learner can also benefit you in life, not just in your studies. So we're looking at things like responsibility, right? Are you somebody that always gets their work done and makes up for anything that they missed? Organization, right? Are you using the materials as you should be? Are you keeping track of where everything is? Independent work, that's, how much are you figuring out on your own? And are you setting, in this course, a lot of people will end up setting their own deadlines, and actually next class, I will share a schedule for completing your work that you could kind of look at and say, okay, yeah, I think that might work. So I'll help with that a little bit. Collaboration. This is distance learning here. So when I'm talking about collaboration, I mean, if you can attend class, participating in class. If you can't, then keeping in touch with me. If I'm marking your work and giving you feedback, you can tell me what you liked or didn't like, or what you were thinking about maybe, or what you maybe had questions about, or maybe there's something that some resource that you found on your own and you feel like sharing it with me or everybody. That's the sort of thing that you can do for collaboration. Initiative. Are you somebody that maybe has contacted me right away as soon as you started your course and let me know that that you're excited to get started? That's good initiative. Self-regulation just means that you can keep track of your own progress, right? I don't need to sort of ask you, how's it going? You know where you're at, and you know if you need help. So there are some overall expectations for writing. And just for time, I see I kind of talking quite a bit today. I'm just going to summarize what your textbook has to say. So these are the expectations for writing that I'm looking at here in summary. I'm looking for correct sentences, and we'll look at some examples today. I'm looking for well-written paragraphs, correct punctuation, which you'll learn about throughout the course. Of course, you'll learn about different types of paragraphs as well. Appropriate words. So throughout the course, we'll talk about what standard English is all about. Standard English is just the correct way of writing. The way that if you were in a workplace, say, or if you were attending college or university, the way that you would be expected to write and communicate. So if we're talking about standard English, the biggest thing is not to use any short forms. So a lot of the times online, you might say something like LOL, right? Laugh out loud. So you wouldn't use something like LOL in any of your coursework. Readability, can I read your writing? An appropriate language, right? So there's standard English, using the right words for the situation, and an appropriate language, right? Not using any inappropriate words either. All right, so I thought that we would start off with just a general discussion about full sentences. So this is from page 3 of your textbook, what I'm going to be sharing with you right now. So I'll just go ahead and get started with this. Writing a complete sentence. The sentence. A sentence must have a subject and a verb, and it must express a complete thought. That is, it has to make sense on its own. The subject is the person, place, or thing that the sentence is about. The verb is a word that tells the reader that what the subject is doing. It could even, the person could just be being, someone, the word is, right? Or feeling, right? He is happy, right? The word is the verb. For example, I stayed in the house on the weekend because of the heavy rain is a sentence because it has a subject I, a verb stayed, and it communicates a thought that makes sense on its own. I stayed in the house on the weekend because of the heavy rain. So if you're wondering where the nouns are, if you're wondering what are nouns, that's what assignment 1 is all about. Well, the nouns are house, weekend, and rain. And you might say, well, what is this word I then? That's a pronoun. Pronouns are covered in assignment 3. Something very important to note, and I'll say it again when we get to it today. Pronouns are different than nouns. So when you do the assignment on nouns, the first assignment, remember to only underline the nouns. So I have a few more examples of sentences here. Sarah left because of the heavy rain. So the best way to use the word because is to put it in the middle of the sentence. All right. But if anybody's wondering, this second option is correct. Because of the heavy rain, comma, Sarah left. You can see that we've really just changed the order of the words. And without the words at the end here, Sarah left, we'd have an incomplete thought here with the second one. Because we'd be wondering, well, what because of the heavy rain, right? What happened because of the heavy rain if we didn't know that Sarah left? So that's why I always recommend to put the word because in the middle of the sentence if you're using because in a sentence. And that's the most useful bit of information for this page here, because of course you don't want to end up having an incomplete thought, right? So I always recommend if you're using because in a sentence, put it in the middle. And another thing that you'll need to know is how to answer questions using complete sentences. This is what the textbook has to say. If you answer a question in a complete sentence, no one will have to read the question. They will know what the question was just from reading your answer. The best way to answer questions like this is by using TTQA. Turn the question around. So here's an example. What did you do yesterday? That's the question. Answer. Oh, sorry. I have to read the question properly. What did you do yesterday afternoon? And then the answer could start with, yesterday afternoon, I watched movies. So you see that we took some of the words from the question, yesterday afternoon, and put them at the start of our answer. That's what they mean by turn the question around. And the most important thing here, if you have trouble with turning the question around, is make sure that you answer all of the questions in full sentences. All right. If you're not answering in a full sentence, I can't give you full marks for your answer. Right? That's the most important thing. All right, so I'll just continue what the textbook says here. By using the words in the question, you can make a complete sentence to answer the question. So cut off the final words and move them down to start a new sentence. They're just talking about how they took the word yesterday afternoon and put it at the start of the answer, right? So yesterday afternoon I watched movies, or yesterday afternoon I went for a walk. What we did was turn the question around, right? Put yesterday afternoon at the beginning, start of the answer. All right, some other tips here. To start your answer to a question, restate the question. That's what we did by turning the question around here, right? Yesterday afternoon, putting part of the question in the answer. No act, sorry, use actual names. So if Sarah did something, say, explain in your answer that it was Sarah that did it rather than saying she. Because what if you have more than one person involved in your answer, and maybe they're both female, and then you have two different she's, and you don't know who they are, right? So use the actual names. And do not begin answers with because, right? As I was saying, put it in the middle, right? So here it says, because of the heavy rain. If you just started off a question, an answer like that, if you said because of the heavy rain, is not a sentence because it does not have a subject and its meaning is not totally clear. So there's no subject, nothing is happening, right? Because of the heavy rain, well, what happened? And who did it happen to, right? You haven't fully answered a question. So it's not a complete thought. So here's some sentence structure examples. And I thought I would start off with some more examples with the word because. So question, why was the game canceled? So the best way here is to put the word because to answer why, right? To put the word because in the middle of your answer. So the game was canceled because of the rain. Okay, so that's a full sentence. Or if anyone's wondering, yes, you could put because at the beginning, but it's a little trickier because you might end up with an incomplete thought if you don't have the words here at the end. Because of the rain, comma, the game was canceled. So that is a complete sentence. That would work for an answer. But let's say you did not have these words here after the comma, then you would have an incomplete thought. You wouldn't be fully explaining the answer, and you would not have a full sentence, and you would not get full marks. So here's another way to answer the same question. The question again was, what was it? Why was the game canceled, right? So another way to answer the question. The game was canceled because it was raining. So you see there's so many options, right? Or if you really wanted to put because at the beginning, because it was raining, comma, the game was canceled. So I'm just reminding you again, put because in the middle. I mean, it is correct here. I did give you correct options to put it at the beginning, but it's easier just to put it in the middle. So I wanted to give you the next thing over here on the right is some examples of listing different things. There might be lots of reasons why you need to make a list in a complete sentence to lots of things that you might answer, types of questions you might answer. So example 1, some reasons why people swim are. And you see after the word are is something called a colon. So a colon, just in case anybody cannot see the screen, a colon has 2 dots, right? So some of the reasons why people swim are to get exercise, to have fun, to get from one place to another, to enjoy a challenge. So that's what you do. You put a colon after you're done what's called introducing a list. That's what you need to do. Another example, please bring the following items to class, colon, your textbook, your workbook, some paper, a pencil. So a hint with lists is if you use the words the following, right, bring the following items, that's a big hint that you'll have a list. So just always remember if you're introducing a list like this, put a colon at the end before you make your list. So you might need to combine 2 full thoughts. You might need to put 2 sentences together. So you might start off with 2 sentences like this. The weather is warming up. I can walk outside more often. Those are 2 sentences and they're related thoughts. So maybe you put them together, you say something like this. The weather is warming up, comma, so I can walk outside more often. A B, maybe you have these 2 sentences. Wendy likes to swim. She likes swimming across the lake. Put them together. Wendy likes to swim, comma, and she likes swimming across the lake. Or C. Here's 2 questions. Do you like pizza? Would you rather eat nachos? If you put them together, remember you only need one question mark at the end. Do you like pizza, comma, or would you rather eat nachos? Okay. And then just a couple more here. You could have people, places, and things as subjects. The easiest way is just to put the subject of your sentence first, right? And the subject of the sentence is just who or what the sentence is all about. So A, Mr. Smith is never late for class. So this sentence is all about Mr. Smith and how he's never late for class. Squeaky, my cat, is very cute. So I have a cat named Squeaky and she's cute. That's what this sentence is all about her. British Columbia is beautiful, especially in the spring. So this time the sentence is about the place, British Columbia. Right? The kitchen was renovated last summer. And you see I underlined the nouns as well. Now, examples using pronouns instead of nouns. Why am I sharing this? Well, you need to know that pronouns are different than nouns. They can be used instead of nouns. So let's just look at the first two, all right? So if we look at A, now A has no pronouns in it, right? We have Mr. Smith is never late for class. Our two nouns are Mr. Smith and class. But you look at 5A, instead of having Mr. Smith at the beginning, we have he. We have he is never late for class. So this time, because we have the pronoun he, we only actually have one noun in this second possibility here. And that only noun is class, right? And so then when we look at B, Squeaky, my cat, is very cute. I changed it and I just said she is very cute, right? And there are actually no nouns here. There's a pronoun she, a verb is, very is something called an adverb, and cute is an adjective, right? So it's important to know that nouns are different than pronouns. When you're asked to underline the nouns, only underline the nouns. All right, so assignments 1 and 2, nouns and plural nouns. So before we look at the textbook, I would like to share the 3 most important bits of information that you need to know about nouns. So nouns are people, places, or things, and if they are capitalized, then they are called proper nouns. We'll talk more about that, don't worry. Nouns can also be singular or plural. Plural just means more than one. So you've got your common nouns, your proper nouns, your singular nouns, and your plural nouns. However, number 3, nouns are different than pronouns. So pronouns are not the same thing as nouns. They're used instead of nouns. One of the most common pronouns that people can sometimes get confused is this pronoun I. So if you have the word I, remember that it is a pronoun. So you see here in this sentence, I've underlined only the nouns, right? I went to the store and bought pizza. I've only underlined store and pizza because I is a pronoun, which is different than a noun. All right, so here we have assignment 1, and this is what your textbook has to say. It gives you a few lists of nouns. And I wanted to talk about how the nouns are similar or different. So all of the nouns in green, horse, dog, teacher, students, are common nouns, right? Common nouns. And all of the words with the red dots, Tom and Toronto, are proper nouns. And proper nouns are capitalized. Why? Because they are specific, like specific names, specific places, specific people. Right? Proper nouns are capitalized. And in the second list, movie, clock, woman, Jamaica, stick, story, pan, tomato, sentence, there's only one proper noun, right? So Jamaica, place, is the only proper noun, right? The rest are common nouns. All right. And then here I have this other list here. On the left we have flower, glove, church, lady. Well, these are singular. Just one of them. More than one though on the right. These are all plurals. Flowers, gloves, churches, ladies. And we might not quite have enough time to get through assignment 2. I'm just looking at the time, but we'll do our best. And really, assignment 2 is just talking about the difference between singular nouns and plural nouns and talking about different rules for how you make plurals. We'll see how far we get though. So assignment 1 continued. I just wanted to give you some example sentences with the nouns underlined. So number 1, Sioux Lookout is a beautiful place. So you can see that the two nouns that I've underlined, I have Sioux Lookout. Right. That's our proper noun. And I have place. That's our common noun. Don't worry, in the notes after class, I'll write in full words. And if anyone's wondering, well, what are the other words? Well, is a verb, is something called an article, and beautiful is an adjective. Number 2, I would like a new truck in the summer. So we have two common nouns, right? And it's possible just to have common nouns. It's possible to have both common and proper nouns. It's even possible to have plural nouns. None of my examples have plural nouns, but you could, right? So we have truck and we have summer, right? Another example here, notice I did not underline the word I, and that's because it's a pronoun. Number 3, the weather is warm in the spring. So we have two more common nouns. We have weather and we have spring. Okay. Now I mentioned Sioux Lookout is a beautiful place, and I said, well, the word a is an article. Well, there are 3 articles, and articles are often, not always, often written before nouns, written in front of nouns. And you would use a in front of a consonant. A beautiful place, right? Notice B is a consonant, or a book, or a friend, or a car, right? Those are all consonants. Use an before a vowel, like an adventure or an awesome time. Or use an before a vowel sound. So X, right? We have an Xbox here. X is actually a consonant, but when we sound it out, we have right? An Xbox, because it sounds like a vowel. All right. Oh, here we are at assignment 2. Are we actually going to get through it? Oh, maybe. I'll give it a go. 5 minutes, I can do it. All right, so this is page 6 of your textbook, and I wanted to give you some extra examples. And we'll also go through the different rules here. So most of the time, when you make a noun plural, you add an S to it, right? So we have one sock or several socks, a shirt or shirts, button, buttons, shoe, shoes. So house would get changed to houses. So you see, all I'm doing is adding S. School, schools. And this happens most of the time, right? Book becomes books. All right, continuing on. Now, there are 3 rules. This is the first rule, right? Besides just adding S, right? That's what usually happens, so there isn't a special rule about it. But the first special rule is that if a noun ends in S, CH, or SH, form the plural by adding ES. And this is just because you have to hear the S, so S, right? You have to make the S sound. So if we start off with kiss, we end up with kisses. Dish, dishes. Speech, speeches. Brush, brushes. You know, every time here we have ES at the end. And we have either it's ending in S, right, with kiss, or sh with dishes, or ch like speeches. So here's my extra examples. We could start off with reach, ch, right? And we end up with reaches, reaches, or crush, sh. You gotta have like a crush on someone, or crushes, crushes. Floss, right? Dental floss, several different flosses, flosses, flosses. All right. Last page, last two rules here. So if a noun ends in a consonant followed by the letter Y, form the plural by removing the Y and adding es. What? What are they saying? So a consonant and Y. So we have consonant plus Y at the end, right? Consonant plus Y. So activity, TY, right? Consonant and Y. Dictionary, RY, consonant and Y. Library, another RY. So activity becomes activities, ACTIVITIES. Dictionaries, again ending in IES. Libraries, again ending in IES. More examples, cavity, that's a TY, so we end up with CAVITIES. We got rid of the Y and put IES. Missionary. We end up with missionaries, MISSIONAR. Get rid of the Y, add IES. Carry. End up with carries. Get rid of the Y and add IES, CARRIES. All right. And actually carry is a verb, but it still follows the same rule. It's okay. It's okay. It gives you enough examples. Then number 3, start off with wife, get to wives, knife, knives, thief, thieves. So in this rule, if a noun ends in F or FE, right? FE on wife, FE on knife, F on thief, form the plural by removing the F or FE and adding VES. Some more examples. Half ends in F. So we take off the F and add VES, HALVES. Elf, get rid of the F and add VES, ELVES, elves. Midwife, this one has FE at the end, so we started off MIDWI, and then instead of the FE, we have VES. And then I've summarized the rules along the bottom here, right? Hopefully this helps, right? Mostly you just add S. If you have S, CH, SH, and in the singular you add ES, right? Or if you have that consonant and the Y, you get rid of the Y and you add IES. Or if you have the F or FE, you get rid of the F or FE and then you add VES. Well, I'd like to thank everybody who was listening today. I hope that all of these notes were helpful. I look forward to this term, and I'll see you in next class. All right, thank you. Have a good night.